Muscle cars, everybody loves them. But why is it when you mention yours is a V6, people tend to hate them? I'm Josue and I'm back with another video. Today we are going to talk about why people seem to hate a V6 muscle car and why you should actually learn to accept it. And why they are not as bad as people think. Current V6 models, that is. Anything under 2010, we should all get together and laugh at them. Shit, even some of the V8s are laughable from 2010 and under. Reasons people say they hate the V6: the engine sound, the lack of horsepower. It's not a real muscle car. They're just disrespectful towards the V8 muscle cars. These are some of the reasons I've been finding on the internet. A lot of the hate usually happens in person. People always tend to say, why didn't you go with the V8? Why did you get the V6? The V6 sucks, bro. You should have gone with the V8, man. If you're going to buy a muscle car, you should get the V8. The V6 is slow, dude. My 94 Civic will dust you. I own a V6 muscle car, and that is usually what I hear. Kind of makes me wonder if I would have got a V8, if I would have heard, you got the V8, dude? Why didn't you get the GT350? Why not the ZL1 or the Z28, bro? You should have gone with the Hellcat, dude. And soon to be, if you don't got the Demon, get out of my face, bro. But the whole world aren't gearheads, and they don't understand how far along V6s have come. The only comparison they have is the V6 versus the V8. They still think it's pushing a measly 200 horsepower, if they even know what horsepower is. But I'm not here to make fun of them, and I'm not going to tell you why you should prefer it over a V8. You should actually learn to accept it, because times have changed. The V6 is not the same little V6 engine it was 7 or 8 years ago. Shit, the V8 at this rate might even end up going extinct. With the new introduction of the 4-cylinder turbo engines, I have to agree, no way in hell those are considered muscle cars. But having 3 engine options for a car, how long do you think that will actually last? Ford got rid of the V6 for 2018. They quietly took it out back and shot it in the head. How will that affect sales? We'll have to wait and see. One thing's for sure, the V8 would not have stayed in production if it wasn't for the sale of the V6 options. With the V4 and the V6 being the best selling options for the Mustang and Camaro for 2016, kinda makes you wonder, will the V8 remain in production? But let's move on to the issues stated before as to why people hate the V6 and how are some reasons you can actually learn to accept it. Sound. Just go out and buy yourself an aftermarket exhaust system, put some headers on it and intake. You can get all of that for under $2,500, and you could even get a much better and smoother sounding V6 than a couple of these stock V8s. The lack of horsepower. Why all of a sudden how much horsepower an engine produces do people actually care about? In 2010, before the Camaro SS was released, people were flocking to the Mustang GT, and it had a disappointing 305 horsepower. And that is disappointing coming from a V8. And to be honest, in all the daily scenarios, there's never really a case where you would actually need 400 horsepower. Unless you're actually a Mustang and looking to plow into a crowd as fast as possible. What makes a real muscle car? This one is really hard to answer because back in the day when they first came out, 210 horsepower was the stock horsepower for a muscle car. I know technology has advanced, but does that mean the 1964 Mustang isn't considered a real muscle car to today's standards? I know I didn't give you any reasons as why you shouldn't hate it. I just gave you a couple reasons why you should actually accept it. The V8 wouldn't exist without the V6, and sales actually back that up. You have to keep in mind most of the world aren't gearheads, and it kinda is disappointing, but that's fine. We all have opinions, but this V6 is not as bad as you think. If anything, we should actually praise Dodge for being the only one that is not losing sight of what makes a muscle car a muscle car. They're not looking to scale down and cater to people who aren't willing to pay 5 miles per gallon. With the current announcement of the Demon, which is looking to make more than 800 horsepower. But that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. It was nice and short and to the point. Comment down below your thoughts on what you guys think about the V6. If you prefer the V8 or why you prefer the V8 and why you hate the V6. And what do you guys think about the extinction of the V8s and the uprising of the 4-cylinder turbocharged engines that are starting to take over the world? Drop the video a like, help me reach 50 likes, subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, be chill, stay savage, and deuces.